Yo, what up? It's Benjamin D'Souza here, back with another classic. And it's a couple of stories that's been in pop media as of late that I want to kind of use as a template to convey some thoughts of mine. And I want to take those events and kind of compare them to actual events that happened in my life and how those two compare, and give my overarching, view of the whole situations, and hopefully it will be towards your edification. So this might be a kind of a lengthy video because I gotta go through my memory museum and pull up some relics and shit. So get a cold beverage, sit back, because it's story time. All right, first off, I want to give a shout out to Red Supreme TV1, because he broke the story to me about the Apryl Jones and Lil Fizz, and how it came out in the blogs that Apryl Jones was caught cheating on Lil Fizz with FBG Baby Goat in some nightclub somewhere. Now, I don't want to get too far deep into what them two constitute as cheating. I kind of want to just look at it from a surface level, because really when you think about it, when you got two, finesse style people like Apryl Jones and Lil Fizz, Lil Fizz might not constitute what she did as cheating. It just may be a dynamic of their relationship. Lil Fizz may be in cahoots with Apryl Jones to, for her to use her assets, per se, to finesse guys, to finesse other rappers and shit. So who knows? You know what I mean? So everybody's jumping for joy that their relationship is gone up in flames, but we really don't know the dynamics of their relationship. You feel me? Lil Fizz obviously is an underhanded guy, and Apryl Jones is an underhanded gal. So so it's a match made in dysfunction. So what works for them may work for them. As from what I see, Omarion seems like more of a stand-up guy, so that's why he couldn't mix well long term with Apryl Jones. You know what I'm saying? So, but enough of that. I kind of got off in a tangent, but just looking at the situation from face value, it is as the old adage says, man, you lose them how you get them, man. You lose them how you get them. So for all you fellas out there that kind of want to poke your chest out and big yourself up because a chick that you're dealing with is cheating on her man with you, and you want to use that as putting a feather in your cap, all right, okay. I mean, you're really setting yourself up when you play the side dude like that, because she's always going to be able to slam that card on the table. Once you open up that box, once you open up Pandora's box like that, man, it's hard to get the genie back in that motherfucker. Because if she's cheating on a dude with you, if you're the side dude, you're locked in. You're locked in with her. Because if things inevitably go wrong with her and her current dude, she can automatically monkey branch to you and apply pressure to you to take her on. You know what I'm saying? She can always hit you with, well, my dude caught me cheating with you, and he was a decent dude. He was paying all these bills and this, that, and the third and shit, but he caught me cheating with you. So now you gotta take me on as your girl and give me a modicum of lifestyle that he gave to me. You see how they can slam that big joker down on you? So you got to be careful with that. But like I said, I think it was my sexual mirage video. Man, these chicks will use sex as a weapon to play on your ego. You know what I'm saying? And once they massage and finesse your ego, they can, hip toss you however they want to. Once you know what I mean? Kind of like a judo tactic. Like, once you overcommit to an attack, they can just grab your elbow with one hand, grab your wrist with the other, slam their hip into yours, and just flip your ass over. Easy peasy. You feel me? So it is imperative, fellas, that you keep your ego in check, man. Like I said, man, these chicks, these bitches got 1,000 reasons why they fucking you, man. And trust and believe, it's not because you got a 24 karat gold plated dick and your swag is over 9,000. You know what I mean? That's not always the case. But we see what's going on with Lil Fizz and Apryl Jones. Obviously, as the reports say, this nigga Lil Fizz was estimated to make in the 7-figure range from the tour that Omarion basically kicked his ass off of. So he fucked up a big bag. You know what I'm saying? He fucked up a big bag. That's the most expensive pussy he had never had in his life. You know what I'm saying? And niggas want to talk about tricking. Niggas want, jump on brothers who trick and shit. Ah, man, you tricking. Like I said in another prior video, it may cost you a little, it may cost you a lot, but it will cost you, man. It will cost you. And it cost Lil Fizz, in the 7-figure range, man. Real shit. So not only is he a simp, but he is a trick. And shout out to Game Changer 00100. There is a difference between simping, being a simp, and being a trick. So let's not muddy the water there. But to juxtapose that situation to a personal situation of mine, my baby mother, right? I got prior classics, especially I think it was in my Confessions of a Deadbeat Dad, I want to say, and in some of my Mask Off series, my rants and shit, I spoke about this, where my baby mother, hold on, when I got with her, because I've been knowing her for years, but when we became an item, right, before she got pregnant with my daughter, she hadn't had any kids, so she was childless. I was childless, she was childless. And that was one of the major draws of her to me, is that she didn't have any kids, because I was adamant that I didn't want to deal with with a female with any kids. Unfortunately for me, once she got pregnant with my daughter, she just blew up the spot. But anyway, now I don't have any definitive evidence to prove this, but I can connect enough dots to sufficiently say that she was cheating on me with this dude. She was cheating on me. But shortly after she had my child, right? She was already 5 months pregnant at my daughter's first birthday party. So my daughter just turned 1, and here she is 5 months pregnant. And her new future second baby daddy was there at my daughter's birthday party. You know what I'm saying? So to connect the dots, I don't think that nigga just popped up out of nowhere. I think he was there the whole time. I think that was the guy whom she was cheating on me with. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I kind of took the high road, if you say, to, channel my inner Omarion and, kicked it to the curb and shit, moved on with my life and shit. And at first, when she was in this new relationship with this new guy, similar to the Apryl and Lil Fizz dynamic. She was kind of gloating and throwing this shit into my face. Now, I'm in my mid-30s now. At the time, I was in my early 30s, going into my late 30s. And, you know, still in college, still working, hadn't dropped out of college and went into trucking just yet. But, I was a struggle student, trying to make my way. Had a vision, had a plan. Well, still got a vision, still got a plan. I was working it, But she got with a dude. As a matter of fact, when I talked to him at my daughter's first birthday party, he's around the same age as an older cousin of mine. And a matter of fact, he went to the same high school as my older cousin. So he's in the early Gen X range or whatever. It's like he's like in his early to mid 40s now. But anyway, this guy was working some 2-bit bullshit ass mechanic job, changing oil and changing tires at Firestone and shit. This nigga got like 4 or 5 different kids by several baby mamas already. You know what I mean? So he takes all of his resources, buys a second tier SUV and throws some cheap ass basic 5-spoke 20-inch rims on it and shit. And she basically fell for that glitter. You know what I mean? Like, she fell for some lower level, just petty poverty game that he was kicking. And she fell for a hook, line, and sinker. As the adage says, everything that glitters ain't gold, man. And she found that out the hard way. But I'll get to that later. So, we had a court order to where we would meet at a certain public venue to exchange my daughter, right? So she pulls up in his SUV. I'm not impressed by it. That type of petty shit might impress her, but I'm not impressed by it. Like I said, I went to middle school and high school in one of the most affluent suburbs in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? I went to school with the sons and daughters of Chiefs players and Royals players, lawyers and doctors and shit. You know what I mean? Like back in high school, motherfuckers pulling up in brand new Jeep Grand Cherokees and brand new Corvettes and shit, and brand new Mercedes Benzes and shit. So I wasn't impressed because I done already seen that shit. You know what I mean? But I guess she was drawn in. But anyway, she pull up to the spot. I'm sorry, it's early in the morning, but she made sure she got up early enough to make sure that her hair was on fleek, that her lip gloss was popping, you know what I mean? And then she threw on some fashionista shades and shit, so she can just, accentuate her boss bitchness, if you will. And she pulled up on me, and I automatically knew what she was doing. Like, she was trying to make me jealous. Like, yeah, my new nigga got a new, got this SUV. It's sitting on rims and whoop, whoop, whoop. And I'm just looking in my head. I'm just shaking my head like, you dummy. You big dummy. Because I knew the game the nigga was running the whole time. I did my investigation and found out. I'm like, man, this nigga ain't doing it like that. But he got enough trinkets to make it look like he's doing it like that. So they're riding high on their little euphoria and shit, right? Fast forward. I guess he got tired of her shit, or she got tired of his shit. Whatever. They break up. Now she's out on the dating market, right? Now I'm not gonna get into the details. But word on the street is she had some dates and whatnot, and it wasn't a good look for her. She went on a couple of dates with some dudes around the town, and she had a very entitled attitude about her. It's like, come on, sis, you're past 30, you got 2 kids, 2 different baby daddies. Like, you're in no position to be acting like you're a young chippy. fresh off the printing press, like you're 18 years old and childless all over again. But you know, like most black women, they gonna die on that hill, man. They gonna ride that horse to the bitter end, man. So she, you know, she rolls snake eyes up in the house, single and alone. Now all of a sudden, now this has been going on for like the past several months now, where now her whole countenance towards me when interacting with me has completely changed. Like, she's not on some strong, independent, matriarchal tip anymore. Now she's on some trying to soften her tone and be more congenial and shit and be more demure. She's really trying to channel her inner level 2 BFF, but it's kind of hard to put that cat back in the bag after I've already seen you act like a goddamn demon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was straight on your, you know, warrior destroyer goddess tip. Now you want to switch it up and try to fool me, you know. But yeah, she's trying to get back into my good graces, and back in, I want to say February of this year, after her relationship with her second baby daddy and a couple of failed dates and whatnot, she asked me to marry her. And I'm like, chick, no, it's done. It's done. That chapter's done. You know, so these chicks, they will go into self-destruct mode, blow up the whole spot, and engage in all various manners of skullduggery to get back at a man. You know what I'm saying? Apryl Jones, she cheated and slept around with her. I want to say, I don't know if her and Omarion were married, but her baby daddy's one of his close childhood friends. And she fucked up their relationship just to get back at Omarion. But Omarion had the last laugh because he kept his cool. He put some space in between him and both of them and just assessed the board, man, and moved the pieces on the board to get checkmate. You feel me? And that, you know, that's kind of how I played it with my baby moms now. You know, even though I let it be known to her, and I've let it be known several times that we're never, ever, ever getting back together. I guess you want to keep hope alive or whatever. You know, I'm like, hey, if you being nice to me just because you think you can finesse me back into a relationship, you can just save yourself the trouble, because that's never gonna happen. You should just be nice to me and be congenial with me for the sake of our daughter, not for not for the sake of you think you can get me back. But hey, for now, she's in pocket, so I ain't gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. I take it. A win's a win. But anyway, moving forward. Now I want to talk about and this kind of segues into the next topic that I want to talk about, which is the Romeo, what's that chick name? Rev Run's daughter. I forgot her name. She got the deep, kind of nasally voice and shit. But anyway, this kind of segues into that, and how Romeo, and shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, because he broke that story to me. And go check out his video. Go check out that video that he posted about that. But anyway, It's a chick, man. And I've spoken about her in prior videos. She's my high school sweetheart or whatever. Shout out to her, you know. But me and her had a recent conversation via text. And she was basically saying, she was like, you know, Benjamin, you owe me. I'm like, I owe you for what? What are you talking about? She was like, yeah, because you got some of the best years out of me. And, you know, I did the laughing emoji and shit because it's true. It's true. I got prime years out of that bitch. But I hit her back with the, you know, because, you know, we were dating. We were about 17, 18, 19 or whatever, right? But I hit her back with the, hey, you know, you got some prime dick years out of me too. You know what I mean? Because back in high school and a little bit after high school, man, I was what? 6 feet, 198 pounds. I'm like 208 right now. But 198 pounds, man, I'm talking about, bro, my senior year, bro, I was basically done with all my classes. So I just took a whole bunch of weightlifting and gym classes. And I was lifting weights at school every day for like 4 class periods straight, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this was like early 2000 when 50 Cent came out. I'm talking about, nigga, I was looking like 50 Cent. Like real shit, built. So I'm like, shit, you got some prime dick years out of me. You know what I mean? I was shredded, built, you know what I mean? But anyway, she kind of played herself in a sense with me because, and I'll tell you this story. I don't know if I've said this, but you know, we were high school sweethearts, and she went off to college on a scholarship. I'll just say a scholarship to a major university in the Kansas City area. I'm not gonna say which one, but you know, it was kind of close to home. It was like, you know, a few hours away or whatever. But I'll never forget this shit, man. She had to leave like a week after graduation, right, to go down to the school to get herself worked in and shit. Like it was some legit shit. Like she had to leave and go down to the college immediately, like right after graduation, right? So she leaves, man. I'll never forget this shit. 9 days after graduation, she calls me up. I'm still at my mom's house and shit, right? And this, you know, I didn't have a cell phone. We still had house phones and shit, like, but I had my own line at the house or whatever. So she calls my line at the house, right? And I'll never forget this shit, man. Pick up the phone. Hello, Benjamin, we need to talk. I'm like, oh shit. I'm already knowing what this is because during our years in high school, it was kind of a rocky relationship. You know, she's much of a drama queen. I was gonna say she's a bit of a drama queen, but she is a lot of a drama queen. You feel me? So, you know, I fell into the makeup dynamic and shit with her. So I already knew, you know, the vibes that she was putting down on me. I was like, shit, she about to go left on me. This bitch, she's like, yeah. So I'm like, what's up? Well, what's on your mind? It's over. And I'm like, you know, I'm in full-blown blue pill mode at the time. I'm like, hold on. What you mean it's over? I mean, what's the problem? We can work this shit out. She's in the cafeteria with her new college friends or whatever. You know what I mean? Because all right, I'll just say it. She was there on an athletic scholarship, right? So she was there training with her teammate, with her team. So she was in the cafeteria on the phone with me with her teammates. And she, she was trying to get some clout because, she was showing my pictures off like, yeah, this my boyfriend back home. And I'm a handsome guy, so she was trying to get some clout for herself like, yeah, I got this nigga wrapped around my finger. But anyway, she takes the phone away from her ear and says to her teammates and shit, she was like, he just don't get it. He. And they all just start laughing, bro. And then she just hangs up the phone. Bro, I was crushed. I mean, I have never, ever in my life experienced such heartache at the hands of a woman than I experienced with that chick, with that gal. Straight up, I mean, bull. She took a chunk out of my ass. And I was in so much of a shock, right, that I just had the phone to my ear. It's a dial-up phone and shit, right? A house phone, right? To the point that after she hung up, when the phone start going, when you leave it off the hook too long, it start going, I'm just sitting up there laying on my bed looking at the ceiling with this phone to my ear going, just zoned out. Just zoned out. And I'll never forget this shit because I was playing semi-pro football at the time too. And one of the credo to our team was game day, game face, game today. And it was on a little leaflet, right? And I taped this leaflet to my ceiling. So when I wake up in the morning, I see it, right? So I'm just sitting there, laying on my bed, looking at this leaflet, game day, game face, game today. It's taped to my ceiling. Phone's going and I just snapped to it. I'm like, oh shit. Just hung up the phone and go through the grieving process, trying to work my way back into the dating game and shit, yada yada yada. This was in spring, early summer, right? That this shit happened. Fast forward, I want to say that same year around Christmas break, she ran into some trouble at the school, right? So she comes home for Christmas break. She calls me up. She's telling me about all the bad experiences that she went through. I won't go into detail about those. But, she went out, got on her hot girl first semester at college and got her ass handed to her. You know what I mean? So she came back to Old Faithful, me, with her tail tucked between her legs. And, I took her back because I really did love her. You know what I mean? And even though I'm no longer in love with her, I still love her. I still got love for her. You know what I'm saying? Now, that might be my inner simp talking, but shit, for all the bullshit that me and her went through, shit, we had some good times, man. We had some damn good times, man. You feel me? So, I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna nail her to the cross because she got on some fuck shit totally. I mean, it wasn't all bad, hell. I blazed her, she blazed me. You feel me? So, shit. And besides, like she said to me just recently, she lamented that, hey, I got the best years out of her. I'm talking about prime, nigga, prime years. 17, 18, 19. I'm talking about twice every day. She was bent over my couch, even 4 times on Sunday, nigga. I'm talking about for real. And she's a baddie, nigga. She's a baddie. Straight bona fide Instagram model type of shit, man. And she still look good to this day. She in her mid-30s. Still on her hot girl shit. But she can do that. She can pull it off now. She can still pull it off now because, shit, she's in fantastic shape. You know what I mean? I mean, she had a few kids by a few different men, but she can still pull it off because, shit, she still looks good. I mean, amazing. You feel me? But she knows the road is coming to an end, right? And she's trying to find a safe place to land, a soft place to land. And she's trying to kind of backdoor, underhand guilt me into basically retiring her jersey when she's done. You know what I'm saying? And she may be in for a rude awakening, She may just be in for a rude awakening. I may just have to, I ain't gonna go into all that. But anyway, getting back to the story, I got kind of put off on a side tangent. But getting back to the story, so Christmas break, she comes back. She offers a mea culpa. We get back together, right? So by this time, I'm working and I'm going to community college at the same time. So I'm working part-time and going to school while she's off at university and shit, right? But university is within driving distance. So every weekend, I'm driving out there. Now let me break this down to you, because there's some real gumshoe shit right here I'm about to lay on you, right? So we get back together. The first week that she's gone, after she go back to school, first week that she's gone, the vibes was on point, right? Vibes was on point. I get there, go to her dorm, and we ain't fucked all week. You know what I'm saying? Now, normally back when we was, in high school and shit, and we was living in the same town, nigga, we was fucking every day, twice a day. You feel me? So now we go from fucking every day to twice a day to not seeing each other until the weekend, right? So, I mean, we get it in, right? First week, I get there on the weekend, nigga, we get it in. It's lovely, you feel me? All the nostalgic, memories start coming, all them nostalgic feelings and shit start coming back and shit. It's lovely, right? So, second week rolls by, the weekend comes, I'm on my way out to her. I'm on my way. But this time, she's calling me like every hour on the hour to see where I'm at. She's calling me like, yo, where are you at? I tell her, what town I'm in and how far I'm out from the town that the college is in and whatnot. And I thought that was kind of strange because the first weekend I came out, she didn't do that shit, right? So I get there, right? Get to her dorm and I walk in, right? Now, if you've ever, and I got a lot of experience with this because me and her have had a lot of sex in my room during high school and shit. So I know this. Like, when you have sex in a room or somebody, and then you leave that room, get some fresh air, but then you come back to the room and you can just, it's not a stench per se. It's not that, a foul odor, but you can kind of smell the sex in the air. Like you can feel it. It's like a humidity and shit. It's like a humidity. It's like the air is thick. You know what I mean? Like that old house party movie when the gal come home and catch a kid in the house with old girl. She can smell the sex in the air and shit. Like you can smell it. Like you can smell it. You can feel it. Like it's like, you know what I mean? So I kind of squint my eyes, and I'm not the type of person to just fly off the handle and play some I gotcha shit. I like to sit back, get a person enough rope to hang themselves, and get enough evidence where I can just get an open and shut case. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of like the feds. When I indict you, I'm gonna make sure I got all the evidence. Before I charge you and bring you up on charges, I'm gonna make sure I got all the evidence to where when we go to court, nigga, you gonna have to take a plea deal, proverbially speaking. So I don't jump to conclusions. I want to get gather all the evidence I can, and I was giving her enough rope to hang herself, so I knew something was wrong. but I didn't jump to any conclusions. I kind of did, little things like kind of squint my eyes to let her know that I was suspicious that something was wrong. And then automatically she picked up the air freshener, right? And started spraying it in the air. And so I seen that. So I'm like, okay, she knows that I'm on to her. So now she's trying to, on the fly, cover her tracks and shit, right? So then at that point I was like, all right, what's that smell? And she had like a little refrigerator and shit in her dorm. She was like, oh, that's the Chinese food in the refrigerator. I open the refrigerator, get the Chinese food out, smell it. I'm like, nah, it ain't this Chinese food. What's that smell? She's like, I don't know. Okay. So at this point, keep this in mind. I enjoy having sex with her, and she very well does enjoy having sex with me. We are on, so sex with us, so sex between us is not an issue. It's not that she doesn't want to have sex with me because I don't turn her crank. I very much so turn her crank. So I was like, all right, I'm about to see if this bitch is, because normally shit, we've been away this long. When we link, nigga, it's time for clothes to hit the floor, It's time for me to come off the top rope with this dick. You feel me? So I make a pass at her, try to get them panties off, and she's not reciprocating. And I say to her, I'm like, damn, you ain't seen me all week, but you don't want to, She's like, oh no, I'm just tired. I'm like, all right, okay. I see what it is. You know what I mean? She offered up, and this is why fellas, especially the young fellas that come across my video, and Chronicles of Judah 144 speaks on this, and I want to second him and just, double down on what he says. Man, don't do the breakup to make up dynamic. Don't do it. When it's done, it's done, man. When it's done, it's done. Because a lot of times, bruh, when you're in a relationship with a chick and she breaks up with you, or she starts being very, very contentious with you and y'all break up, but then 2-3 weeks later she comes back trying to get back with you, nigga, she only broke up with you so she would have plausible deniability to go try out some new dick. A fella whom she had her eye on, she was like, all right, I'm gonna give him a chance. Let me cover my tracks by breaking up with my boyfriend, get with this new nigga, ride him for about a couple weeks, see what he talking about. If this don't work, then I'll just go back to Old Faithful. So that's what she was doing with me. She figured me Old Faithful. And it's as the old adage says, man, motherfuckers will do what motherfuckers allow. So if you allow a bitch to put you in a makeup breakup dynamic, bruh, you got yourself to blame, man. You gotta look at the man in the mirror and say, man, I allowed this shit to go on much longer than it should have. But don't fall into a breakup makeup dynamic. And if you do, if you want to play dirty just like she playing dirty, if your chick breaks up with you and she's out sampling dicks, but she wants to get back with you, always in the back of your mind, have her relegated to concubine status. So, but make sure not to get her pregnant. Once you see that she puts you in a break, that she tries to put you in a breakup makeup dynamic, take her out of wife role and place her into concubine role. You could just keep her around for, female companionship and a piece of pussy to hit. You feel me? But do not get her pregnant. You only get pregnant the women who are in the wife position. You understand? That's if you want to, kind of play dirty like that. You feel me? And take your feelings out of it, man. But depending on how much time you have invested with said female, it's just best to just have a clean break and just rip the Band-Aid off altogether and just get it over with and just separate yourself and keep it pushing. Me as an older gentleman, I done been through my heartbreaks. You know what I'm saying? I'm battle tested when it comes to this shit. So it's very easy, and me being the cold-hearted, Yaochuan predator, pragmatic, apex motherfucker that I am, everything that I do is streamlined to a efficient bottom line. So I have not completely, but for the most part, taken love and the mushy gushy shit out of my dynamics out of my relationships with females that I deal with. I'm looking at the bottom line. Can this chick give me good children? Can she raise those children? Will she help support and reinforce this infrastructure that I'm building? If not, no big deal. But for you young brothers, man, y'all might not be battle tested just yet, man. So so it might be in your best interest just to do the clean break and just separate yourself, man, from her, But yeah, that's what she was doing, man. And I stayed there the whole weekend. I didn't jump to any conclusions when after I smelled the dorm, made my pass, she wasn't reciprocating the sexual advances that I was putting down. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay here the whole weekend and just really give it some time to really come to a conclusion, right? So I'm chilling with her the whole weekend, right? So we go to a college party. It was a HBCU that was several miles away from this major university. So we go to a party at this HBCU. And this is early 2000s, so the Nina Pop was the Nina Pop was in full motherfucking blown. You feel me? All my millennials is in their mid 30s and shit. Y'all know about the Nina Pop, man. And this is I'm in Missouri, the Midwest region where the Nina Pop came up. You feel me? Where the shit originated or whatever. But anyway, we go to this party, right? Now, at this time, I really hadn't grown into my club phase because I'm more of an introvert, man. I relate to people whom I'm already familiar with. So, back in high school when we did our house party things, those are my classmates, my buddies whom I went to middle school and high school with. Like, I already know these guys, so I can cut loose and let my hair down with them. But the thought of me going to a club with strangers and partying, that, I kind of, that really wasn't my thing. Now, I grew into that in my early to mid 20s and shit, going into my late 20s. But it never really, them shoes never really fit me right. You know what I'm saying? So I was more willing to just have a weekend with just me and her, go to the movies, chop it up, be on our personal one-on-one shit. But she wanted to, go out to this party. So we go to this party. I'm not really feeling the vibes and shit, because I'm from Kansas City and there's a lot of St. Louis niggas there. And if you're familiar with Kansas City and St. Louis, it's like, it's not so much a beef, but it's kind of a first cousin rivalry type of deal. You know, they think they're better. They're the best city in the state. We think we're the best city in the state. Yada yada yada. Whatever. So we get to the party, right? She's like, no, go ahead. And she got some little thought buddy with her and shit. You know, her battle buddy, her thought buddy, you feel me? That's with her. So she's like, no, go ahead, enjoy yourself. Go dancing, go socialize and shit. She just wanted to get me away from her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I just kind of peruse the party. I'm really not trying to talk to anybody. I'm really just waiting for this shit to be over so me and her can go back to her dorm room and fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here so I don't get fined. You know what I mean? Like, I was just on my Marshawn Lynch shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God. I'm just at this party so I can get some pussy from my girlfriend. Whatever. But, you know, I'm sitting back, peeping the scene, and I see her talking to some guys, right? Or some guys trying to talk to her. It's understandable. She's a very attractive lady. This is a college party. Of course, guys are gonna approach her. I understood that. Didn't make it no big deal. I didn't flash or whatever, because at the end of the day, shit, I'm the one going back to, you know, to the abode with her to bend her over, you feel me? So I wasn't tripping. So we get back into my car. I drove down there and I'm the one driving me, her, and her friend to this party. So we're on our way back to her dorm. First we gotta drop her homegirl off first, right? And I asked her who those guys were whom she was talking to. Fellas, when you're questioning anybody, but especially if your lady friend, and just give her enough. Don't assist her in her own lie. Just ask very basic questions. And let her do the talking, or let him do the talking, whomever you're questioning. So I asked her, I'm like, who's those guys you was talking to? Oh, that was such and such. He asked to see my phone so he can go through it. Now I thought that was strange. She just volunteered that information. I didn't see her hand him her phone. But she knew that I had seen her talking to him. She just didn't know that I seen. Oh, excuse me. She just didn't know that I didn't see her hand her phone over to him. So she volunteered that information. But here's the thing. I had been dealing with her for 2.5 years prior to that in high school, right? We had cell phones. I'm talking about these, the big block, old Nokia cell phones, way before the smartphones and shit, right? She would never let me go through her phone, ever. She would fight me to the death before she let me go through her phone. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck? So, you know what I mean? So what the fuck business would another nigga have going through her phone? So, I didn't blow up. I just asked her a follow-up question to that. I said, so, why was he going through your phone? Oh, that's just him. He's just like that. He just, try to give me some bullshit that, he just like that. He just one of them aggressive kind of guys. We kind of on a play brother, play cousin type of relationship. So he just likes to check my phone from time to time. And I just was like, okay, all right. No, okay, yeah, all right. At that point, from the time I got there and I smelled the dorm when I first arrived that weekend to that instant, right there, I had made my decision. I had gathered enough information to build a case against this bitch to, as MOT says, measure and drop. Shout out to MOT, man. He coined that phrase, and I like it. I'm going to try to incorporate that shit into my vernacular. But yeah, check out Man of Tomorrow's channel. But yeah, I had enough evidence, man, to measure and drop the fucking boom on this bitch. So we drop our homegirl off, get back to the dorm. I just, give it a works, you feel me? Put the best dick game down that I can on her, right? And I think this was a Saturday, I was leaving on Sunday. Sunday comes, I take her out to eat, we chopping it up. I'm just playing along, playing dumb. Yeah, laughing at her whack ass jokes. Well, actually not her whack ass jokes, but she does have some good jokes. But, just enjoying, in my mind, I'm already packing my bags. She just don't know it yet. She think it's business as usual. She thinking, oh shit, cool. I pulled the wool over this nigga's eyes. But she's not knowing that I'm already hip the game and I done already packed my bags in my head. Oh, and fellas, this is another thing that these women will do. It's not that they are sloppy with their shit. It's that they kind of want you to. It's not that they want you to catch them in their fuckery, but they kind of want to reveal the fuckery to you, and then when you notice the fuckery, that's when they can do their magic trick and say abracadabra. You didn't, what you're seeing is not actually what it is. You know what I'm saying? So she could have buttoned that shit up a little tighter and been a little bit more on her game. But she kind of subconsciously wanted to reveal that fuckery to me to get me used to seeing that fuckery. And then she would convince me that fuckery that I was seeing was not actually fuckery. So if I was to see that in the future, I wouldn't recognize that behavior as being fuckery, if that makes any sense. I know I said a lot. It's kind of confusing, but yeah. So she's thinking, cool, all right. I pulled the wool over his eyes. I hit him with a smoke bomb. Woo, woo, woo. He'll leave, be gone for the week, come back on the weekend. I can walk around the campus with him and all these bitches and see, back home I got a sexy, fine ass nigga who ain't leaving me. And all these niggas who trying to get with me, I could just let them know, hey, I got a nigga back home. So I really don't need to be fucking with you because I got my man. Woo, woo, woo. Culmination of the weekend, hop back into the car, man. Head back to the town. Get back home, hit her up, let her know, hey, it's over. It's over. She get to pressing me on why it's over. I basically laid all the evidence I had out to her. She tried to deny the shit, But I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna fall for that. That fuckery right there, on top of you disrespecting me several, about 6 months back after we graduated high school and breaking up with me then, nah. You was on extreme probation this second time around. Now, I'm not even about to fuck with you, so. Cut her off. And we kind of hooked up. We linked up from time to time, off and on, years after that. And, we still talk, via social media and via the phone every now and then and shit. But, yeah, man. They, a lot of these chicks, man, the majority of them, especially if they are moderately attractive to a very attractive. Now this chick is very attractive. So she's had a lot of potential suitors. You know, guys who've come to her and who were willing to fucking hand her the keys to the kingdom on a velvet fucking pillow. She's had that throughout her life. She just chose to, you know, fuck around and not take shit seriously and not settle down with the guy whom she should have. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. As far as that relates to Romeo and old girl, you know, she kind of played Romeo like she felt that she had Romeo in her back pocket or in her coin purse, if you will. And she was like, you know what? I'm gonna call that nigga up from the D League when I'm ready for him. And when, you know, unbeknownst to her, when she called him up from the G League, when she was ready for him, he didn't want to play for that team. He didn't want to play for her team. You know? And he told her, hey, I wish you the best, but yeah, you gotta do that shit moving. You feel me? What O'Shea say? Me gotta take your ass down Struggle Boulevard. Struggle Avenue with that shit, man. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts, man, on these situations as they relate to my personal life. I hope it was edifying for you brothers, man. I hope you got something out of it. Peace.